Have you thought about LG in the smartphone industry? It seems that they have vanished into thin air for a while, and you might be thinking, when will they come back? Well, they're coming back with a bang right now. Hello guys, I'm the Compensator, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the upcoming LG smartphone, that is the LG Velvet. It is said that this new smartphone would replace the old LG G series, which was a successful lineup of smartphones. Before I dig deeper into the LG Velvet, let's take a look at the LG G series. In 2012, the first smartphone of the LG G series was introduced. That is the LG Optimus G, which came with a Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 Pro with 2 GB of RAM and 32 GB of non-expandable storage. But the AT&T model of this smartphone offers 16 GB of storage, but it can be expandable up to 64 GB. Next is the screen, which is a 4.7-inch IPS LCD display with a resolution of 768 by 1280, displaying more than 16 million colors at 318 ppi. The phone had Gorilla Glass 2 on the front and Gorilla Glass on the back, and its power comes from a 2100 mAh battery. Last but not the least are the cameras. The phone has an 8-megapixel or a 13-megapixel sensor with a 1.3 megapixel selfie shooter. This lineup grew to the LG G8 Think smartphones, which includes the LG G8 Think, the LG G8S Think, and the LG G8X Think. As these three smartphones have modular differences such as the G8S having 3 cameras and the G8X having a dual screen design, I will be covering the LG G8 Think in this video. The LG G8 Think has a 6.1-inch Quad HD OLED display with a pixel density of 564 ppi. Under the hood is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 with 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. Next are the cameras. The rear has a dual camera setup with a 12-megapixel sensor and a 16-megapixel ultra-wide camera. Additional features include the IP68 dust and water resistance, wireless charging, hand ID, face scanner, and a fingerprint reader. A 3400 mAh battery puts the end to this explanation, giving the power to run all of these high-end features. Since its release in 2019, there was no sign of LG coming up with a new phone, and today, they're ready to unveil the new LG Velvet on the 7th of May 2020. So here's what you need to know about this new smartphone. Let's begin with the specs as usual. Sadly, the LG Velvet won't come with the Snapdragon 865 like the OnePlus 8 Pro or the Nubia Red Magic 5G, though it is a premium smartphone. Instead of that, it would come with the Snapdragon 765, which was also built to support 5G like the Snapdragon 865. It may come with 4 GB or 8 GB of RAM, but 4 GB is not completely decent in today's standards, as most smartphones usually start off with 6 GB of RAM. In my opinion, LG would most probably stick with 8 GB of RAM to compete with other smartphones in the smartphone market. The phone may come with 128 GB of storage, which is also a decent amount in the midst of smartphones having 64, 128, and 256 GB storage options. The display could be a 6.1-inch Quad HD panel, which is still good. Next are the cameras. This phone would be coming with 3 cameras arranged in a raindrop design, which means that as the cameras are arranged vertically, the lens size decreases from the camera at the top, which ends with the LED flash, which is quite similar to that of raindrops, which is a nice touch in its design. The phone may come with a 48-megapixel plus 5-megapixel plus 2-megapixel rear camera setup with a 16-megapixel selfie shooter housed in a notch in the center of the top of the display. All of that may be backed up by a 4000 mAh battery, which to me is kinda small for all these specs, but LG may surely use a bigger battery to back those up with great battery life. Last but not the least is the price. The LG Velvet may come with a price tag similar to that of the LG G8, as that was also a premium smartphone. Henceforth, it's a great comeback for the once main player in the smartphone industry. Share your opinion about LG's new phone and about LG's comeback in the comments below. With that, I bring you to the end of the video. I hope my content was useful. If you like my content, like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notifications so that you'll be alerted whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care and have a great day.